And there's so many that have failed. Like we talked about MarsOne and these other ones. I mean, I remember back in the day defending MarsOne merely because we didn't have anything else at the
Yeah,
time. You know, the
yeah.
shuttle was retired. SpaceX was a hopeful dream for people following it online, but for the industry, they did not want it, or didn't think it was possible. Um, and now that it's here today, it like how much of SpaceX succeeding has brought you the ability. I mean, I think you already said it, but like that changed
Yeah.
all of this
Oh,
being
oh,
possible.
massive. I mean, look, the advent of SpaceX and also them being so stratospherically successful in the engineering part of their business, right?
Mm.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, just watching this, we went to see every launcher and every manufacturer, right? So we went to see Boeing, we went to see everything that NASA does and all the space centers, JPL. We saw like I think 30 or 40 satellite manufacturers all over the
Mm.
world. We've been to many launches, right, and many launch pads. But the moment we stepped foot into Hawthorne, the SpaceX facility, it was so different, right?
Mm.
Those places. Usually they're like laboratories.
Yeah.
People wear hairnets and all this, right? You get into Hawthorne, it's like a welding shop.
Yeah.
And it feels so strong, right? Because you feel the physics there.
You can smell
And
it. Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
immediately intrigued. We were like, oh my God, this is the thing.
Wow.
And then obviously, right? I mean, look, we are around 50, right? That's around 50.
Mm.
And we were the oldest people in the room.
Yeah.
And that was interesting too,
That's
because
different as
it's
well.
driven by the energy of curious youth, and that's exactly how the world should move forward, right?
Yeah.
And we love the place. We've been there many times now, and SpaceX is a wonderful team, right? And the achievements, they come from, exactly ignoring what everybody else is saying, because, first they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win, right? It's like always
Yeah.
these three stages. And I
Yes.
guess when Elon started talking about reusable rockets and stages landing back on Earth, people were like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" But
I
then,
was in school having debates with chemical engineering professors about the fact that it wasn't possible. And
right,
it was one of the it was a mind fuck, honestly. Being a student, learning this stuff, seeing people succeed, and then seeing the people that are from the industry saying you're a crazy kid, like that. Those are the people that are working at SpaceX. That's
see,
why it's so driven. Is all those people that were told no, it can't happen, have a chip on their shoulder, and they're like, we're gonna make it happen.
and in a way, that's our story, because when you
Mm.
tell people about Space Hero, it's always like, "What are you doing? What?" And then you get the really stupid question. It's like, "Are people even flying to space today?" And you're like,
Yes.
"Yes." And then isn't it dangerous? Isn't everybody going? And you're like, "No." And is it all these things are coming up, right? And then when they get it, it's like, okay, so why hasn't this been done before? And you're like, okay, oh God. But then, luckily enough, we have a big, massive group of people on this planet that get that. Bam. Just like that, right? You say one sentence, you say, this is a global competition series where you can win to fly to space. And
Yeah.
people are like, oh my God, sign me up. You don't even need to
Yeah. Yeah.
say more, right?
Well, and that's what MarsOne did. I think that was the more beautiful thing that it tested the hypothesis to everyone of would you be the first people to go to Mars? And there's so many people who would love to be like the pilgrims that came over here to the US, or any place where they were the first people. That's
If
history.
look, yeah, and people, if people make the voluntary decision to take part in things that have never happened, we've seen it today. I
Mm.
mean, we have the Dear Moon mission, right?
Yep.
Which we know Starship, is needs to be certified first before they can even attempt to do that flight.
Right.
It's kind of some time away, but eventually it will happen. But it's not today. People still apply, right?
Yeah.
And so for Space Hero, that means that the applications for something that is very real and that has a
Mm.
mission date will be through the roof. Everybody that would want to be flying to space will apply. We reckon it's going to be between 1 to 2 million people, but some people say it will be 5 to 10 million. Right? You don't know, and that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
beauty of this thing is we will be the first ones doing that. So let's learn everything about it.